If you're fond of sand dunes and salty air, quaint little cottages here and there, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. If you like the taste of a lobster stew served by a window with an ocean view, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. Wandering roads that seem to beckon you, miles of green beneath the sky of blue, church bells chiming on a Sunday morn remind you of the town where you were born. And if you spend an evening you want to stay, watching the moonlight on Cape Cod Bay, you're sure to fall in love with old Cape Cod. Old Cape Cod, written by Claire Rothrock, Milt, Yakus, and Alan Alan Jeffrey, yes. All right, anyway, I was thinking, been having a little thing going back and forth on the Banjo Hangout about singing and playing. A number of years ago I used to do virtuosic, try to do that stuff and whatever, all that. Went out on the sea cruises and all that other stuff and whatever, and played Las Vegas with Big Tiny Little and Reno and all those places. And I was never satisfied with that, never happy, never really liked it. And then again, on other times I had great jazz bands back in Chicago, my old Chicago days. I had just absolutely wonderful musicians playing for me. All the old timers were still there at that time, and Darnell Howard and all the old time musicians at that point, Junie Cobb. Anyway, so I enjoyed that very much, but I was young then, and then that kind of work kind of faded out, stuff kind of faded out. And I went into a zillion other things, and then I got here in New York and played for Rhapsody in Blue and George Antiles, jazz symphonies and all that stuff at Carnegie Hall here, and which is right across the street from me now. And did all that kind of work here in New York, and that was terrific. Went out with the Maurice Perez Band, redid all the Paul Whiteman stuff, the Paul Whiteman show in 1924 and all that. And I enjoyed all that, and that was mostly reading and whatever. And then that kind of died away. And all these other things happened, and I've always loved playing ballads and singing songs and doing whatever. And playing those beautiful harmonies and all that kind of stuff. So I decided along the way, whatever, that what I really kind of was, and in my heart, is what I personally think is a minstrel. You can have all the definitions of a minstrel that you would like, but to me a minstrel was someone who entertained people, took what he had, the simple things that he had, whatever, and entertained the people. He didn't have a 26-piece band behind him. He didn't have Las Vegas out there to do all that kind of stuff too. He just entertained the people with what he had, whatever, and I like that idea. So what I started doing some years back was playing a lot of ballads and singing a lot of songs and doing all that. And so along the way, I started calling myself the Manhattan Minstrel, because I thought that played pretty much to me. I was living here in Manhattan. I was writing for Woody Allen, writing for the Big Apple Circus, and doing a lot of different stuff like that with my writing. And when I performed, I just kind of like to go out by myself. I know you're all using backing tracks now and all that kind of stuff. That to me doesn't work, because I had the best musicians playing behind me and with me and around me. And so those backing tracks don't work. They don't make it for me. It's got to be live, and it's got to be the emotion. You got to talk to one another musically. You got to talk back and forth with whatever. Either when you're playing the instrument, talk with them, or if you're singing, you talk at the other musicians and see if you can get them to play some really nice stuff along with you and all that sort of thing. So to me, it's been that. I've been the Manhattan Minstrel, and I like it. And then some people got saying, oh, no, why do I do all that? Why don't I play banjo stuff? And then they got to counting how many tunes I would sing and how many tunes I would do as an instrumental. And mostly I was only doing as instrumentals, those old tunes that didn't have anything to them, any words to them, like Potato Head Blues and that kind of stuff. And then I started even writing words for it, because I like it, and I think things sort of have words and that sort of thing, and it help them out a lot. Because people remember words, and they don't remember Potato Head Blues, but they might remember the words and all that. So I got doing all that sort of thing, and felt I was very pleased with it and very happy with it. But now people have begun to go at how many tunes I sing along with when I play, and should I be playing all instrumentals, and should I be playing at least half instrumentals and all that kind of stuff. To me, that has absolutely nothing to do with music. Has absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm going to do what I do, and that's why I call myself a minstrel, because I'm just supplying what I have here to you. Now you can either enjoy that and like it, or what else you could do at that point. That is, no, don't like it. That's whatever the case may be. But try to let it come from inside you, as what you think and what you believe, and not what you think should go on. Anyway, so there you are. Those who are enjoying what I do, or even care, or even think about it, or give me a thought, thank you. And those who don't, well, have your day. Do what you want. That's the case. Anyway, so I just pick out tunes. I have drawers full, file cabinets full of music in there throughout the years, and I'll just go in and reach into I, or reach into L, or in this case O for Old Cape Cod, and just pull out some tunes and bring them out here, set up the nice little camera that Ruth got for me to do this with, and set up my music stand and my little light and all that, and sit here and read through it. Now you got to understand, I'm reading through this because I have put up 14, almost 1,500 songs on my YouTube channel, and thousands of others on other YouTube channels, the Wyatt channel and my other channel of the Manhattan Minstrel and European channels and all that. So you'll have to understand I've gone through thousands of songs, and so now rather than try to think of, well, I'll do this or I'll do that or try to find one that I haven't put up before, I think, well, what the hell, there's a million songs out there, and so some of them are mine. Sometimes I throw some of my tunes up and play them. I try not to overdo them for you, whatever, but I think you ought to like them, and I hope you like them. But anyway, that's what I've been doing, and so I just pull up these tunes, I sit them down here, I turn on the lights, and I turn on the machine, and I start playing through them. Now, if they have warts, if they have all of the other kind of stuff, that to me has nothing to do with it. A minstrel is just sitting here doing what he does, and you either choose to enjoy it or you don't choose to enjoy it, and enjoy it. He's not asking anything of you, in my definition of a minstrel. And I'm not going into black, white, or anything else in minstrels or all that kind of stuff. Minstrels are minstrels, whatever they want to call themselves, whatever they want to do. And if you want to get into it from Europe and all that, and America's not as old as you are, and you had those old, that's great. I think they were entertainers the same as what I'm talking about. Anyway, that's where I am. So every few days I sit up, go out and pull out some more tunes and enjoy myself while I'm sitting here doing them. And then I put them up. Now, you have the choice of not going to listen to that. If you go there and listen to it, I would assume you were listening to what you think I enjoy, and you would let me enjoy it. If not, why, you must do what you must do. And this is a day of age when everybody thinks they must do what they must do. And the younger you are, the more power you got these days, because you can bluff everybody, and everybody thinks whatever's new is the best. Well, I got news for you. The best music I ever heard was when I was a kid. The best music I ever played was when I was a kid. Because it was real music then. It wasn't electronic. It wasn't a zillion other things. It wasn't funny hats. It wasn't silliness. It was just pure from the heart music. And you corresponded with the other musicians around you in musical talk, in musical conversation. You know, and you could talk all you want about whatever, but that way you learn when you hear a minor chord, you learn when you hear a major chord, you learn when you hear the seventh added into the chord. Here's the C chord, you add in the seven, and that gives you the modulation to go off to F or someplace else. And I love those floating modulations. You must learn all that in your ear. You must learn that in the ear. On the paper is one thing, but your ear must hear these things. If you're what I'm talking about, what music is. Now today, nobody really knows what that's all about, or whatever, or even knows that they should learn it. But you gotta hear the seventh chord. You gotta hear the augmented chord. You gotta hear it when it goes up to the sixth, up to the seven, up to the major seven, and up to the octave. You've got to hear those different things in the music. In the minor chord, what's the minor chord? Here's a G minor. You got to hear the minor chord holding the minor, and the melody descending to an A minor major 7 chord, which is an augmented chord. Then you got to hear it, because you can hear that augmented tone in there. I could make that go off to C. I could make it do a lot of things. But you can then lower that down to the G minor 7 chord, which is suspension, because you're just suspending the third in the C7 chord. The E in the C7 chord is an F for a minute. That's your suspension in your G minor 7, and you go to the 7. And there's only tonic and dominant harmony. There's only tonic harmony, which is there. It's relaxed, it's whatever. And the dominant harmony is when the 7 comes in. Now it's unrelaxed and it needs to move. needs to modulate. The 7th comes in and needs to modulate. You hear that stuff. The ear needs to hear it. It's simple. You only need to hear one thing or two at a time. But the ear must do that, and then your body must feel it. And without thinking about it, you must follow it, and you must talk. You must converse. If I'm going there and I don't want to go, if I'm going into that C7 and I don't want to go to the off to the F, then I have to make the person hear other things that lead me into the D flat 7, you know. And then I can, after I get a line like that, then you can hear them come down the D flat 7. Now that should just be easy to hear. That's just D flat C, B flat A flat G. Then you're back to C at rest. You're back to the tonic. Those have all been 5 chords, and they've all had to move. I hit that G7 chord, I said I wanted to stop moving. So I made it modulate from 5 to 1, from the 5 tonality to the released harmony. But you see, that allows you to play with other musicians and converse. And I love that. There are not enough musicians doing it today. Therefore, I get to play with Scotty Robinson and Connell Fowlks and Ehud Sherry and John Eric Kelso, all these wonderful musicians, and when we're on with them, we can just do that all over the place because we know each other. We're there. Whether I've just met you yesterday or whatever, we know each other. We have a grounding, we have a fundamental. But that doesn't really exist in music any longer. Just very few places around. So I would take that if I had my choice, and I could. But otherwise, I'll be a minstrel, because then I'll do my own backing and I'll make my own harmonies go where I want them to go. And I'll do it, whatever it is, singular rather than doing it in the large thing. I still move those same harmonies. I still move that same stuff because that's part of what music is. It makes it move. But anyway, that's why I call myself a minstrel, and that's why I am a minstrel, no matter what the rest of you want to jump in and say or whatever. To me, I am the Manhattan Minstrel. That's all there is to it, because I choose not to play with backing tracks. I choose to only play with the good musicians who can make those things that make me move and make my heart flutter. I choose to do that kind of stuff. So in doing it and having a little bit of money and Ruth to help me out, I can do kind of what I want, and I write what I want to write, and I make more money doing that than I do with playing. And then I have my little moment as being the Manhattan Minstrel at that point. So anyway, I hope that answers some of you people's very strange questions and very strange things that you think I should do. But anyway, because it is me, and I must do what I must do, or get the hell out. Anyway, there you are. That's Eddy Davis. I call myself the Manhattan Minstrel.